I was losing my shit on stream. I was absolutely losing my mind when this all went down, folks. And I know a lot of you were following along as well. I am so freaking happy for the magician John Dodson. Let's just quickly take a second to just remember how amazing this guy's career not only was in the UFC, but continues to be. 24 wins in pro MMA, 13 losses. He's 38 years old. He's never been finished. He's never been knocked out. He's never been submitted. 11 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 11 decision victories in mixed martial arts, but add 3 more KO TKOs in BKFC, ladies and gentlemen, because John Dodson over the weekend became the BKFC Flyweight champion in front of his home crowd, ladies and gentlemen. That is right, of Albuquerque, New Mexico. What an unbelievable accomplishment for the late 30-year-old. And not only that, folks, not only that, it was his 3rd straight knockout in the promotion. 3rd straight first-round knockout in the promotion, ladies and gentlemen. It was a 7,500-seater crowd, all sold out, and like I said, another first-round KO in BKFC. He is now 2-0 in RIZIN in this last year and a half, and 3-0 in the champion in BKFC. Look, he's gonna be the real BMF. He's going to be the real MMA BMF, and this is why. Before 40, before hanging him up in his last run outside the UFC, he becomes the Bare Knuckle FC champion and potentially the RIZIN champion. That would be amazing. 2 belts in 2 badass, savage promotions, you know, right before he turns 40 and probably right before he hangs him up. He's never been finished in 38 professional MMA fights, and add on 3 BKFC fights to that as well. Back in February, he said, I signed a 3-fight deal with both promotions. They both signed off on the fact that I could go back and forth, fight one time BKFC, one time in RIZIN, back and forth until I get the belts in each promotion. And he said it. It's going to take me 3 fights and I will be champion in each promotion. 3 fights in BKFC, 3 fights in RIZIN. Well, he's got his 3 fights in BKFC and he is the champion there. He needs 1 more in RIZIN. He needs 1 more in RIZIN, which, by the way, shout out to John Dodson. Like, he's just such a lovable character too, and an absolute savage. Him and his whole team walking out in the old Ninja Turtles getup in RIZIN is hilarious. And the how big he listed himself when he turned in his stats. In his last RIZIN fight, he listed himself as 6'2". Oh, and he's like, I planned for this moment. I wanted to come up on screen. I wanted to hear what the English announcers were saying when, oh, look, 38-year-old John Dodson, he's not 6'2". He's not 6'2", and it was hilarious. He's far from 6'2". He's 5'3". So he predicted and mapped out the end of his career, essentially. He looks like he has a bunch of gas left in the tank too, and we'll check out his knockout here in just a moment. He checked one of the 2 boxes. And not only that, in February, he said he wants to fight Kyoji Hiraguchi for the belt. In my opinion, the best fighter RIZIN has on their roster, the best Japanese fighter in the world, one of the best flyweights out there right now. Flyweights or bantamweights. What a badass call out that is, to fight the best guy RIZIN has. We did a video on Hiraguchi recently. Drop Hiraguchi in any major promotion. UFC, because he only lost once in the UFC, by the way, to Demetrius Johnson. I believe he had 8 wins, 1 loss in the UFC. Drop him in UFC right now. Drop him in PFL, 1 championship, KSW, Octagon. It doesn't matter. He would be top 5 guy in his division in any of those promotions. He's that good. And Dobson wants to fight him at 38 years old. Now, that's going to be a tough fight for Dobson. I'll be rooting for him, but, you know, I would probably say that early prediction off the top of my head, Hiraguchi probably wins that one. But the fact that he doesn't want an easy title, he wants the best. Wherever Hiraguchi is in RIZIN, he'll fight him in that respected division. Still wants to be known as the best flyweight on the planet, despite not being in the UFC. He hopes that a belt in BKFC and RIZIN simultaneously can prove that to the world. What a stud. What a badass. Let's check out his most recent first round TKO. Again, this is his 3rd first round finish. 3rd! Almost 40 years old, man. Some people just got it. That BKFC just talent, that brawling talent. Oh, and there it is. And that's the thing. Dobson's such a nice guy. He's such a nerd. He was like, he was like the more likable Moreno and Adesanya before Adesanya and Moreno were, you know, names in the UFC. And he was a snitch on The Ultimate Fighter, by the way. Everyone thought that TJ Dillashaw was gonna win. Dobson ends up winning, baby. And there he is. He's out again. Dude, I was losing my Now, it ain't a 30-second knockout like we've seen in some of his other BKFC, but let's watch it again here. You went pretty much till the end of the first round, but what about us going back and forth here? Yeah, I'll fight BKFC, then I'll go to RIZIN, then BKFC. Shout out to him too, in front of his home crowd. His brother was on the card too. Oh, right hand or left hand. How can you not love John Dodson? Let me know in the live chat. Comment on the video. Let me know if you think he can achieve double champ status in both BKFC and RIZIN. And do you consider him one of the best to do it in his division?